Hey, this is Grady with Triple Z Resale. I'm coming to you today with a collector video. I am featuring myself as the collector. So, I am not a collector of train sets, but I'm a collector of collections. I enjoy reselling things, so I collect things to resell them. That's what I enjoy, is finding unusual and interesting things and then taking that item and putting it out on the market and selling it and finding out what it's worth and finding out why people collect these things. So that, in its own way, is my hobby. So last weekend, I went out and went to estate sales and yard sales, and on my way home, my last stop, I went to a thrift store, the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in downtown Tucson. Thank you. One of my favorite stores. And I found this train set. This is an Emmett Kelly Jr. train set by Bachmann in G scale, and it was produced from like the mid-90s until 2006 when Emmett Kelly passed away. Emmett Kelly Jr. passed away in 2006, and so I think that's when the license expired with Bachmann. So this train set has been out of production for more than 10 years, and it was really interesting to me to do the research to learn about Emmett Kelly Sr. and Emmett Kelly Jr. And sort of learn how this train set came to be. So I'll briefly go into that. I'm sure that some of you who are like super up on trains and super up on clowns know this stuff already. But basically, Emmett Kelly Sr. was born in the late 1800s. He was a Depression-era carny traveling with a circus, and he wanted to do this clown act. He had this character that he'd invented from a drawing he made of like a hobo clown. Like normally clowns were like very proper and funny, and there was no like sadness in the idea of a clown. It was purely humor, right? And so his idea was to create this character that I think was called Wary Willie. I might be wrong, but I think that's the character he came up with. And so it was like a hobo clown, like a bum clown, right? And he's got like a 5 o'clock shadow, and he looks kind of disheveled. Here, I'll show you a picture of Emmett Kelly Sr. in his famous character. And so he traveled with circuses, and he did this character for a long time and got somewhat famous for it. And when he retired from being in the circus and using this character, his son Emmett Kelly Jr. came out with his own character that was basically identical to his dad's character, and apparently this made them estranged. Like this made Senior so mad at his son that they didn't talk for years and years. And his son actually was able to take basically the same character and make it even more famous than his father did. He performed for 2 years at the World's Fair. He was like the ambassador for Kodak Film, right? Like this is like a long time ago when Kodak Film was like a young company, like a rising company. And he was an ambassador for them for like several years and got quite famous, and he was in magazines. So now I'll show you a picture of Emmett Kelly Jr. And later in his career, he actually owned a circus, and he had his own circus for a number of years, or a decade or so. And I believe that these train cars are based on that circus train. So that's the history of this and how Emmett Kelly Jr. came to, circus came to be. And so in the mid-90s, Bachmann Trains got licensing to do a series of train cars based on the Emmett Kelly Jr. circus train. And they were sold on QVC, and they were sold in different places, and now they are rare and collectible. I've done my research on eBay. There's not very many for sale, and there's not very many that have sold. So either this is not a desirable item, or it's highly collectible. I'm not entirely sure yet, but based on my reading in some train forums, there are certainly people who are really interested in these train cars, and they have certain numbers on them and certain colors and things that indicate like which part of that time period they were made, and a number of other things about them. So I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna turn this camera around, and I'm gonna show you the train cars. and you can make up your own mind what you think of this. I just thought that since I got this many train cars and clowns and animals and the whole thing, that this was worthy of a video of itself, just to do like a haul video for this one train set, because I think it's really cool. And even though I'm not going to set it up and I don't have train tracks and I don't know much about model trains, I still really enjoy this collection, and I'm passionate about selling it, and I look forward to selling it, and I hope these sell really well. I may even try to sell it as one giant collection. If you're watching this video and you want any of these items, by all means, contact me. My website is in the description below, and contact me and we can make a deal. I will ship them to you wherever you are and, give you a big discount off the eBay price. So, anyways, coming up is the train set.